Dr. Reshma is MD psychiatrist. She's worked in multiple places in Pondicherry, and right now, currently, she's working in Topiwala Nair Hospital in Mumbai. So she's
Yes, ma'am.
live from Mumbai.
Yeah, I've been from Bombay. Anyway, thank you for inviting me today.
Yeah, yeah. Let's dive into the topic directly. So
Yes, ma'am.
we can discuss everything about drugs, and we can elaborate on that. Another topic is also like very much wanted in the schools currently, because the knowledge and risk is increasing. That's what they told me. So they wanted to speak on drugs. That's the reason we choose today. So you are the right
Okay.
person. You are the expert.
Hopefully,
Please,
yeah.
please go ahead.
Yeah, so nowadays, in my department as well, I've also been a part of this community project where we go to many schools and colleges and we educate children, mainly in the age group between 15. Think that educating them about drug awareness from a very early age is very important. Yeah. So I think educating from 15 to 16 up to the age of 25 is very crucial for every adolescent, for that early adolescent age, for that teenage age, because that only actually decides your upbringing, what is going to be about your future. It decides a lot about that. So nowadays, as we see, there's a lot of rise in drug use, substance use all over India. Every day, newspapers, every day from schools, you get many counselors calling you and asking you about how do we actually go about helping children? How can we increase awareness in schools and all? So I would like to give a very basic description of how what is drugs, what does it actually do to your body. So drugs, as we all know, are biological substances. So when we take these biological substances or these chemical compounds in our body, they're like as any other thing what we take into our body, it can cause either a harmful effect or a beneficial effect to your body. But drugs are those kind of compounds that when we take it, when ingested or when taken into our body in whatever form, they're always tending to cause some alteration in our physical and mental health. Like when we are in a very sane form, we tend to take very rational decisions, judgment taking, decision making, and all of that is very rationalized in a human being. But when after taking drugs, they're always altered in children and adolescents. This is very commonly seen. So we mainly need to have a differentiation between two kind of drugs. That is, drugs can either be taken for recreational purposes or it can be taken for medical purposes. So, medical purposes are those drugs that are given by clinicians or any health professional people. And whenever we give medicinal drugs, we usually give it therapeutically. We always weigh the risk and benefits of it and then give accordingly so that we know which is the cutoff point at which a patient can get addicted and we tend to avoid it usually. So, in those cases, a patient usually never gets addicted. We know when to stop it and the change anything happens as well. But what happens with recreational drugs are those are used for pleasure and they'll always alter your mental and physical changes. They're always going to bring about, there's always going to be some neurotransmitter dysfunction happening because of that. So, this can lead to serious health risk as well, as we all know.
I guess there are two types of effects for on the body by the drugs. One is the physiology, how the body is functioning.
How that,
Other one is
yeah,
psychology, how the
psychological,
how the way they think is altered. Please
very
explain to us.
quickly.
Mm.
So this physical effects, as we all know, that if we start from upwards, we all know there can be neurological defects. There can be amnesia, dementia, all of that we know. There can be because of, I think we have all heard of Wernicke's, Korsakoff syndrome and all, which happen because of nutritional deficiencies. And we need to know that these are chronic conditions. They are irreversible if once caused because of nutrition. Because what happens is when we take the substances, the nutrition in our body is it's unable to absorb nutritions our normal gut lining. So because of that, what happens is this Wernicke's and Korsakoff, where we see there can be memory decline. The patient is not able to make any rational decisions anymore. There's impaired judgment making. Then when we come down, it can also cause cardiomyopathy. There are many arrhythmia. It can cause sudden cardiac arrest in our body. We can all see tremors, which we very usually see in our clinical practices. When we come down, it can cause many gut related issues. It can cause liver failure, which is very common nowadays. And also many abdominal issues as well. It causes esophageal varices, like we know. Many types of cancers are arising because of the same. And one very important catchy thing is, nowadays everyone is so obsessed with their aesthetic appearance. But people are not understanding that it causes really bad side effects on your skin. Because of alcohol and because of many other substances, we actually are aging quicker. There are wrinkles around our eyes, there's
Yeah.
puffing up under the eyes, it's causing wrinkling. We are looking much more old. We are looking very pale, frail because of that. And the
In fact,
different
if
kinds
we
of drugs.
compare the photo of before drugs and after drugs, it will be exactly
Exactly.
30 plus years elder we look after using the drugs. I saw a few pictures.
If
So
you've
it
seen
will
people who actually take hard drugs, they actually look very pale, sallow.
Hmm.
They are all thin and bones. That is how they look. So people who are very aesthetically, who want to be good looking and all, they need to know that this has very adverse effect. It's also causing hair loss. Be it a male or female, because of nutritional deficiencies, there's hair thinning, there is hair loss. Hair is becoming more and more brittle because of it. And also a very adverse effect, I think, which can catch attention of a lot of adolescents and teenagers. It causes adverse effects on your reproduction as well, because of this, what is happening is there can be decrease in sperm count. Sperm quality gets disturbed because of it. Also, sperm motility is decreased. That is why we also see that there's a lot of IVF cases increasing nowadays. One of the causes could also be because of increasing use amongst females as well. In like increasing females are also like using more of smoking, vaping, and all of that. It's become a cultural trend. So because of that, all this is actually causing adverse effects on our body in various, like in all the domains, from top to bottom.
So obviously, the IVF may fail 100%.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So, but we do not think about all this. We do not think about the percussions before using it.
Yeah.
So that is what happens. And we need to know, like, where is how much can be the legal use and what can be the misuse. There needs to be a transition between that, but people are very unaware about that. And
Hmm.
usually it goes to a very misuse or an addictive side, which then is very detrimental to our health.
Yeah. And where is the point? Like, how does a person, when I feel they're hunting for some experience, something new, young adults and maybe in
Yeah.
the older age group, even in the schools, the higher secondary or in the early colleges and after college also, they continue to be addicts for years. We may not be able to realize that. So, how is the thing happening actually? What motivates them to take drugs and getting addicted to that on a long term? And I hear that they become chronic liars. Their whole social,
Yeah.
how they people saw them before drugs, they totally, the personality has changed. So it's a big social thing actually for the family to handle that. Please explain more, doctor.
So see, what happens is before the age of 25, we need to know that there's something called as prefrontal cortex in our brain. So prefrontal cortex is where the person actually, whether it decides whether a person is going to act impulsively or no. Their decision making, their judgment making is all based on the prefrontal cortex. So the prefrontal cortex develops only by the age of 25.
Hmm.
That is why they always tell that before by the till the age of, that is why the drinking age limit was actually increased to 25. This was the reason.
Hmm.
So but till the age of 25, a person doesn't know what is actually good or bad for them. And then this is actually the biology. One of the main biological causes is that TFC is not developed by the age of 25, and that is why people are much more prone to causing like dealing with addictive issues before the age of 25, because they do not know what they are doing. It's not yet matured, and they still end up doing it. And also, I want to say that in biological, there's a lot of genetic predisposition also to substance use. When your parents, grandparents have all been using substances for a very long time, it's also biologically, it passes on from your genes, and that can also be one of the causes that children are prone to taking, or much more, they have much more risk for taking any substance use. Then there are also psychological factors. We need to understand that we place a lot of burden nowadays on
Yeah.
children, on teens, on adolescents,
Yeah.
for be it anything, be it family pressure, be it academic stress. We always want them to be number one.
Yeah.
We always tend to cause more and more pressure. So they go into more of depression, anxiety. They do not know how to regulate their emotions very well.
Yeah.
They do not have somebody to talk to because they're sometimes very scared to talk to their parents also, because parents demand very high of them and they're not able to fulfill
Mm-hmm.
that
Because
expectations.
already
So
because
all
of the
this.
hormones, they're already in a chaotic situation because of the rising hormones in the teenage group. And even for the
Exactly.
extracurriculum activity is actually meant to be this is actually recreation for them, extracurriculum. But even that
Exactly.
has become a pressure to show some performance in that. So many things are happening. And even I see, sorry to interrupt, I see in the socially, like in the family structure, even though they are all the time together, the quality time or one to one, the connect with the parent is missing with the children. That is another predisposing factor, I feel generally.
They're all using phones. That is their
Yeah.
quality time. All of them
Yeah.
sitting together in the same hall, but all of them using their own
They
gadgets.
all disconnected, but sitting in the same room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is what, like, using these drugs and all becomes like a coping mechanism for them. That is the main thing. It acts like a
Mhm.
very big coping mechanism to actually regulate their mood,
Yeah.
to regulate their emotions. They
Mhm.
think that it's an escape for them, getting that
Yeah.
high.
Drugs, we think it's a problem. For them, it's a solution for
It's the
something.
solution. It's
Actually,
like
for them,
going,
it's the
getting high,
solution.
getting,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
And also, why in teenagers and all, it's a big part of identity formation as well. They want to fit in with a group of people. They are finding their group, they're exploring themselves, they're exploring their identities. So when they actually go about and then they want to fit in with people, and that is why they think that, okay, if that group is taking drugs, so even I need to take that to actually look cool or to fit in with them. That is also another cause why it is increasing nowadays. And we see. And also I think a lot of environmental and social factors also play like a big role. That is, one is peer pressure. So when they go to schools and all, this is a very common thing that we see nowadays. They always tell that my friend has told me you take one puff and try. They'll all have this e-cigars with them. That is this vapes. That's on surge now. That's like rampant usage of vapes is what we see nowadays. People, like, children are using on roads,
Yeah.
just walking on roads and vaping. So
Mm.
they tell that they finish around 1,000 to 1,500 puffs in 2 3 days. They do not know the number of puffs they're even taking in.
Mm.
And they just tell that my friend forced me, my friend told me to take one puff, my friend told me to have one sip of the drink, my friend told me to try this. So they're under a lot of peer pressure, to actually fit in. And they do not know
Mm.
how to say no to those people.
Mm. Mm.
So that is one other use. And also there's very easy availability in India as far as I know. There are no legal restrictions on usage of anything. Everything is very easily available.
Yeah.
There are small shops where the shopkeeper does not even ask their age, just gives them things. If you give money, they easily take whatever they can. And also media influence is very high.
Mm.
Everywhere we see on reels, be it YouTube shorts, it's very normalized, having a nightlife, having a social drink. So children are also seeing this, and
Yeah.
that is how they are getting influenced.
Uh-huh.
So we also see media influence, which is very
Mm.
high. Like, we see people are so easily displaying drinks or e-substances or e-drugs or whatever online, which is very easily, like, the children can access to all of that. So that is also leading to rampant usage, as well as, if we see our parents using any kind of drinks or if they are smoking, that also plays a very big influence on children growing up in families. So family use of substances is very on the high trend because of
Mm.
that. And we also need to understand the family environment at home, like many dysfunctional families or neglected, like children who do not have any support from parents, or parents who have been divorced with each other, and all also, like, play a very crucial role for children actually developing a risk factor.
Yeah, the support system, the child support
Support
system is
system is
made
very
up.
important.
Yeah, mainly it's family, relatives, friends, peer group. But slowly, the peer group and friends turns against a proper culture. If it is against, then
Exactly.
at least there should be a support from parents or relatives or some social groups, whatever. But if it is missing, then the child goes by misleading. The people will introduce them to new
Exactly.
substances. So where does it
True.
start actually? Initially, they just want to try it and just to feel, have a
Yeah.
feel of it and just hunting for some experience. And how it becomes a long-term thing. Please explain it.
So yeah. So, a lot of it, like even if when we were adolescents, if we see our friends doing something, we always have this novelty seeking tendency. We are very intrigued to know that what are they doing. Even I want to try it. Okay, let me also take one sip. Let me see how it feels. We slowly start liking that feel. We start feeling that, okay, I can't live without this feel. This feel is making me feel good. It's removing my tiredness. It gives a very short high, a very temporary high that everybody likes to enjoy. And these are some of the temperamental traits. Temperamental traits means behavioral traits in children and in adolescents. That is novelty seeking. Then they also have, which is something called as harm avoidance. So harm avoidance is something that is there in every individual. There is high harm avoidance and there is low harm avoidance. So high harm avoidance means they are very cautious people, careful people, who are very straight people, who do not want to try anything out of the way, who are very careful in life. And something called as low harmful avoidance means they are very impulsive. They want to do everything. They want to try new things. And these are the people who actually are very like easily prone to taking substances and get addicted to this.
Maybe
So these 2
influenceable.
points,
They're easily influenceable from the
easily
brain.
influence. Yeah,
Mm.